Hello. Today I'm doing a review of the Aukey PBN15 external battery. If you don't know what these things are, they are for charging your cell phone. They're a battery that you charge. In this case, this one charges from the same sort of charger you would use to charge your Android phone, for example. And they have two USB outputs, and you can use that to charge your phone when you're on the go. You just plug it in and it charges. This particular model has a 20,000 milliamp hour capacity, which is quite large, probably enough to charge most phones maybe about 5 times, give or take. Depends on the phone, could be more, could be less. It also has a 3.1 amp output, and I believe that basically works out to 1.5 amps per port, maybe. The point is it's a fairly high amperage output, which means that your device will charge faster than it might even from your wall charger, depending on how good your wall charger is. It's also got a little flashlight here. And so it's got a lot of capacity. I got this device because a long time ago I bought this new Trent unit, which is a bit similar. It's only got a 8,900 milliamp hour capacity, so a little less than half of this one. And you can tell it's about half the size. It also charges, in this case, not from a regular phone charger, but from a custom DC input charger. It's got a USB output, and it's also got this DC output, which it came with some adapters to charge iPhones and stuff like that. And I've lost them all. But this unit's been great. I've used this for, I don't know, I think I've had this for 6 or 7 years now. It's been excellent. My only complaint about it is that it charges a little bit slowly, but it's been fantastic for traveling and keeping devices topped up. I never travel anywhere without this. Sometimes I'll use this even if I'm going to be out all day long, and I think I'm going to be burning my phone down. The other thing about this that's a bit limiting is it really is no good for charging something like a tablet, which needs a lot more amperage to charge effectively. So a few limitations with this, but I really like this device, and I decided I wanted another one. So I saw this one on Amazon, and it was for a great price. I don't remember what it is now, but it looked really attractive, and so I bought it. Bought it about 4 months ago, and I tried it out right away, and I was really impressed with how fast it charged my phone. And I tried it on a camping trip, and for a weekend it kept 2 phones and a tablet charged. It was fantastic. And then 2 months ago I used it again for a boating trip and keeping a device charged all day while I was doing some GPS logging. Fantastic. Actually, I think that was for 2 days. And then I went to go use it again, and I ran into a little problem, and that is it stopped working, just altogether. So this little flashlight is supposed to come on when you press this button, and it doesn't. And somewhere here, I don't remember where they are, there's little lights on this that tell you the capacity. I think they're actually right here next to the buttons. There's 4 little lights. And so when you plug this thing in, it's supposed to, I believe, if I remember correctly, indicate it's charging. Remember, this thing hasn't worked for 2 months. But of course, I did try this. I left it charging overnight. So this is a BlackBerry high amperage. I think this is about a 2 amp charger. They're fantastic for charging things quickly. And so when you plug this in theory, these lights should come on, and you should be able to probably turn the flashlight on, and it should charge, and so on. And of course, that doesn't work. So this sounds like a really bad review, but it could just have been a defective device. That happens. So eventually I got around to contacting the seller through Amazon, and I explained what had happened. And with very little fuss at all, they sent me this. And so now we're going to open this up, and I presume I have a replacement in here that we can test. Of course, the real test is, I guess, what happens after a couple months. Since the first unit here lasted for about 2 months of occasional use, I would imagine that the second unit should last at least that long. Hopefully it will last 5 years or longer like this new Trent unit has. So maybe there's going to be a follow-up review, and hopefully it'll be positive. But I kind of wanted to do this because the manufacturer was nice enough to send me another one at no charge, and really with no difficulty. I was expecting a lot of hassle. I'm not at all familiar with this company, but my experience with them was actually pretty great, and I'm really pleased with the service. Stuff happens. Sometimes devices don't work. I guess I got one of these with this one, but I never filled out my warranty card, and they didn't give me any trouble. So yeah, here's the new one. Obviously, it is identical to the old one, and I assume if we plug it in, we get lights. And so these indicate that it's at a little more than 50% charge. I guess it's working on the 75% here. So if you leave this unplugged in and you tap this, you get the 3 light indicator, which means that you've got about 3/4 of a charge thereabouts. And I guess if you hold this down, you get a flashlight. So that's all looking pretty promising. And if I plug in this USB cable and grab my phone, we can tell that the phone is charging. And I'm getting messages. So, next test, of course, is to charge this device up and test it. But I can't really say, let's charge the working one. I can't really say much about the new one other than I really liked the old one when it worked. And I really hope the new one continues to work. And I hope that maybe in 6 months, if I'm not lazy, I can follow up and say that this guy's still working and it's great and everybody should buy one. Of course, one of the criticisms is this is kind of enormous. It's a little bit heavy. I wanted a big one. I wanted lots of capacity. I wanted to be able to run my phone doing something crazy all day long, or be able to recharge a big tablet or something like that. So. But there are other sizes. If you don't know about these devices, if you're interested in getting one, there are other sizes. I would definitely be aware of the amperage output and milliamp hour capacity are the 2 numbers you want to look at. Of course, manufacturers could lie, so maybe take them with a grain of salt. I've had fantastic experiences with this Nutrient unit here, so this is a manufacturer, at least, that I've had great experiences with, and the service from these guys here was fantastic. Hopefully the quality of their product matches up to their service level. So thank you, Aukey, for sending me a replacement unit. I believe it was direct from Aukey. I really should have checked that before doing this. But thank you for sending me a replacement unit with so little difficulty and so quickly. I think it's been a month that I've had this, and I'm just getting around now to opening it, but I just really felt like they tried very hard to make me a happy customer, and I wanted to acknowledge that. So thanks a lot, and hopefully it works.